Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kate and I'm so glad you decided to pop in to this video today. But I am so stoked to just be sitting down and filming a Q&A for y'all. I actually had posted a question box on my Instagram story last week before I posted my coffee chat video, but a lot of you replied after I'd already filmed and I wanted to make sure to get your questions in, so I asked again on Instagram if anyone had any more questions, and I got so many questions, and so I'm going to try to answer as many of them in this video as I can without making it like 30 minutes long. But because I have so many questions, let's go ahead and just get right into it. So the first question that I got was, how do you describe the feeling of being called to something by Jesus? And this was a tough one, and I really had to think about this question because I think that everyone can kind of navigate this differently. And for me, I'll tell you from my personal experience, when I'm called to something by Jesus, or I feel like I'm being called to something, it's something that pops up in my life a lot. People bring up to me a lot, or I just can't get out of my head. And if it's one of those ideas that keeps on, popping in my head, or I just kind of feel a tug on my heart that for some reason I'm supposed to be doing something, it's something that I'll just bring to Jesus and pray about. So I think the biggest thing is, if you do kind of have that intuition feeling that you feel like something is the right decision, just to go to Jesus in quiet time and just pray to him about it and just really sit and simmer on that for a little bit. If it's something where you truly do feel like all of the things are leading to a certain decision, it's probably from Jesus, as long as it's glorifying him. Jesus will never lead you to a decision or never want you to do something or lead you to something if it's not at the core of it going to be something that is bringing people closer to Jesus and bringing you closer to him. So that's important to note too, is Jesus will never call you to something that brings you farther away from him in any way, shape, or form. So I know that that is something that really is distinct in deciding if it's from Jesus or not for me personally. And then also, if I have peace about the decision. Jesus doesn't necessarily cause feelings of unrest and worry. Those aren't from Jesus. And so if you're feeling super unsettled in a decision, that's probably something you need to evaluate, talk to Jesus about, talk to some mentors in your life, because I know every single decision that I make that I really do feel like is from Jesus, or he's calling me to something, I have a lot of peace about when I finally make that decision. The next question is, what cities are on your weather app? And my friend Reagan asked me this, which I thought was kind of a funny question, and I've never really heard anyone answer, but it can tell you a lot about somebody. So let me look. I honestly have no clue. So the first one that pops up is Lexington. That is my college town. It's where I am right now. And so that, obviously, I go to school here, I live here. And then my hometown of LaGrange is also on there, because when I'm home, gotta know what the weather is. And then Clearwater, Florida is on there, which is where me and my friends have gone on spring break the past 2 years. And it's such a fun place and holds so many good memories. And then I also have Chicago, which 2 of my best friends are from there. And so I've visited there a couple times over the past 4 years in college, which has been so fun. Next is Los Angeles, which I love LA. It's one of my favorite places. I got to go last January to LA on a trip with one of my best friends, Sydney, and her family, and it was so fun, and hopefully, cross my fingers, I get to go back soon, because it was the best trip and just such an awesome place. The next place that I have is Nashville, Tennessee, which, if you know me, you know that I love this city. It's my favorite city, probably one of them in the whole US, and I do a lot of work out of Nashville, so I go back and forth there a lot. So that is for sure on my weather app. And then the last one that I have on here is New York, which I also went to New York last year on a trip with my girls, and it was so fun. And so I always just keep the ones that I have on my phone from trips and stuff, and I think it's fun to look back on. So those are all the cities and places that are on my weather app. The next question I got was just about singleness, and I got a couple questions in different aspects regarding singleness. So if there's anything that you ever are wondering about that specifically, DM me on Instagram and I would love to chat about that, because I do have some wisdom in that, and I am, still single and walking through that. And so I would love to kind of chat with you girls if you're struggling with that in any way, shape, or form. But I will say that something that I have kind of been simmering on recently and thinking about a lot is a mistake that I know I have made in singleness in the past and that a lot of girls do make. And so I know in singleness there'll be guys that come and go, and you'll be talking to one guy and you'll think, oh my gosh, this is my husband, that's it, and you'll kind of put all of your eggs in one basket and you'll put all of your happiness and joy into him. And I know I do that when I really like somebody, because I like someone a lot when I like them and I fall really fast. And so with that, a lot of the times I find myself putting joy in other people, and that is a dangerous, slippery slope when you start to do that, because ultimately God is not going to bless a situation where you're putting all of your joy into one person and you're not putting your joy into the one person who can provide all the joy in the world, which is Jesus. And so I think that's super important to really remember and to try to not make that mistake, because I know I have in the past. And so it's so important in singleness that even if you are talking to a new guy or, you know, anything like that, that you still are finding your joy from Jesus initially, and that's it. And so I think that is something that I just wanted to say about singleness. So if you are a single girl, make sure that even if you're talking to a new guy or looking for someone to spend your life with, whatever you're doing, that your joy is solely coming from Jesus. That is the only thing that can actually sustain you. And so if you're trying to find joy in talking to boys or anything like that, that is never going to work out, and that's not a situation that Jesus is gonna bless. And when you're finally with the right person, your joy won't all come from them. They will bring you joy, but your actual joy that's in your heart will come from Jesus, and that person will push you closer to Jesus. And so I think that's super important to know. The next question is, where do I see myself in 5 years? And who knows, honestly. This is one of those things that I'm like, honestly, it's just giving Jesus the reins and seeing where he'll take me. I do have a lot of goals for the next 5 years, so I'll say some of those. One of them is I want to launch my own brand or business or store of some sorts. A lot of you know that's always been a desire of my heart and something that I feel like Jesus has called me to. So hopefully in the next, I don't know, 6 months to a year. Not gonna speak too much about that right now, but hopefully that is something that happens. Also, I would love to be married and be a wife and a mom. That's something from the time I was a little girl. I always said when I grew up I wanted to be a mom, and I've always known that I wanted to have lots of kids and do that. And so I would love to be a mom and a wife maybe. I'll be 27 in 5 years. So that is for sure something that could happen. I also would love to build my first house. That's also something I love. I love interior design and flipping houses and building houses, so hopefully I'll have my own house by then. The next question is, what is my Enneagram? I'm an Enneagram 2 ring 3, which is the helper. And so I'm always, you know, the mom of the group, wanting to help anyone in any way I can and serve people in any way I can, which I love being Enneagram 2. Sometimes it's a little tough because I want to give myself to people in every capacity that I can, and I run myself a little thin, but yes, that is what I am, the Enneagram 2 wing 3. And I'd be interested to see what Enneagrams y'all are. I love talking about Enneagrams, so leave that down below in the comments and let me know. Another question that I got is what preset I use on my pictures, and unfortunately this isn't a question that is going to probably be super useful because I made my own preset. A long time ago I bought a preset that was Aspen Ovar. It's like one of her initial presets, and so I used that for a long time, but then now that I do pictures and do photography stuff, I made my own preset that I use mostly either on the Lightroom mobile app or when I'm editing sessions. Obviously on Lightroom on my computer I have my own preset that I use. Did buy a couple presets. The ones that I use on Lightroom on my computer for photography stuff, I bought the Don Charles presets, which are awesome, and I'll link them down below if you want to purchase them. If you're a photographer, they're awesome. They come with 6 different presets. 4 of them are for color pictures and then 2 are black and white, and they're such a good base for photographers. But if I was a girl who just wanted a really good preset for Instagram and stuff like that, I love the JC Marie presets. I currently don't have them, but I for sure would love to buy them, so I'll go ahead and link those down below if you want to buy her presets as well. She's the cutest, and she also is a photographer, and she makes really, really good presets. So I think I have blabbered on enough in this video, but I'm so glad I got to just chit chat with y'all and answer a few of your questions. If you ever have any more questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe to stick around for a while, and I can't wait to make more content for y'all soon. I have some fun holiday content coming your way, and I'm so excited just to get to spend the Christmas season with y'all. But like I said, I hope you're having the most beautiful day, and I can't wait to talk to you again so soon.